In recent years, Gen Z students enrolled in more trade schools, leaving a dent in college enrollment. Not only is trade school affordable, but many times students are being employed faster and earning a higher salary compared to those with a bachelor's degree. NewsNation's Chris Cuomo talked about removing the stigma of these trade jobs and showing how beneficial it is to our economy.
But, you know, we have stigmatized things in our society, like conversation, reaching across, talking to people you disagree with. And absolutely, this huge sector of need in our economy. For every 5 members of the trades who retire, 2 are replacing them. And people look down on the trades. It's like, well, if you're not good enough for college, then you should consider it. And that thinking is not just backwards. I believe it's dangerous.
It is, and it's not true at all. Joining us now is Kirby, President and Operations Manager of Sy-Con Excavation and Utilities. He's also the host of the Blue Collar Business Podcast. Sy, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. First of all, what do you think? I mean, do you think traditional 4-year college degrees are becoming unnecessary? Because younger Americans are really discovering they can have lucrative careers without them.
Nichole, thank you so much for having me. But yes, ma'am, absolutely. I want to reference my schooling. It was very much pushed towards college. What are we doing after? What are we doing after? And there really wasn't much talk of vocational school or trades. But honestly, going all the way back, I think it also stems from watching your dad come across that threshold after working all day, sweating, coming back in dirty clothes, needing to hit that washing machine in a shower before he even gets a hug from his kiddos. So, but they also shared that pride, and they were proud of dad for, hey, it didn't matter what he did, no matter if he was a janitor or he was a banker. But yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so for you, what was it that made you decide to get into a trade?
I think I saw the longevity. The longevity of water and sewer is mainly our background here, providing safe drinking water and moving that wastewater away in distribution systems. But I had the opportunity of jumping in a municipality game when I was 18, right out of high school, and it kind of picked me. It's not something that necessarily you pick, but that's exactly why we're behind the podcast and the YouTube channel, is to get the glitz and glamour of what we do every day, to show them behind the scenes of the team and the camaraderie you can have and the skills you can learn.
Yeah, I mean, and these are jobs that are really necessary. And, there's so much pride in working with your hands, in doing stuff that people legitimately need. Sy, have you seen interest change in these types of jobs in, say, like the past 5 to 10 years?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And especially, I'm going to agree with you guys. In the last 2 years, the application status, and me being a 32-year-old immigrant business owner with my wife, the average age here in Sy-Con is right just about that 30 years old mark, which is kind of crazy for a trade, essentially. And most the applications that were coming in over the last 3 to 5 years, obviously economy has shifted since then. They were much older. They were much more experienced and had that education within our trade. But honestly, the younger generation is absolutely that 18 to 23-year mark. Not only are they applying, but they're trainable. It's our job as entrepreneurs in the trades to figure out and adapt to the training method as these younger, not as knowledged in our world. It's our job, and we've got to change our training programs to ensure that we retain those folks.
Absolutely. Sy, my last question for you, I kind of want to focus on something that Chris Cuomo was saying. There has been a stigma, and many times, even though these jobs, there's no shame in them, these are important, these are certainly industries that we need. Do you think society's view overall is changing when it comes to these, traditionally blue-collar jobs, which, again, we really rely on, we need them?
Yes, ma'am. It's the backbone of this country, in my personal opinion. The guys that get up, put their pants on, go to work, put their boots on and go to work and work all day long. But yes, ma'am, I would agree with Chris. There is a stigma about us, like we're dirty, or thank God for Mike Rowe, speaking about dirty jobs and shedding light onto this subject. But yes, just like we're doing, I'm trying to shed light from what it could be a stigmatized, looked down upon job, and trying to show the world, hey, We need these men. And if these men don't get up and go to work, our
Right.
country stops.
Yeah. We need the men and women. And we just saw there's lots of
Yes.
money to be made. So, Sy Kirby, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.